Drio, a prominent Chicago journalist known for conducting interviews with several renowned drill artists over the years, raised an intriguing topic. She discussed FBG Duck's trial involving old block members, emphasizing her credibility as a source due to her Chicago roots and her presence at the courthouse, observing the trial proceedings. While she might not attend every day, she provided key insights from a particular day that shed light on what was happening inside the courtroom. According to court documents revealed thus far, the federal authorities were able to trace the car involved in the crime. It was occupied by the alleged suspects, who were tracked heading towards the Gold Coast after receiving information about FBG Duck's location from THFTZ. Reports suggest there is surveillance footage showing specific members entering the car and footage from inside Parkway Gardens, displaying members fleeing the building. Furthermore, street cameras captured the vehicle en route to the Gold Coast, expanding the scope of surveillance surrounding the case. The federal authorities tracked their movements to establish that the members were en route to the Gold Coast. According to Drio, she mentioned that the courtroom for the trial appeared to be somewhat divided. This division seemed logical, especially after rumors surfaced about a possible altercation between Mubu's family and Mama Duck. There were talks suggesting that Mama Duck and Mubu affiliates engaged in a heated exchange of words, but fortunately, it didn't escalate beyond that point. This situation might have contributed to the likelihood of supporters from both families occupying different sides of the courtroom. One can imagine the tension in the room, given that this case involves a loss of life, not merely an altercation. It's commendable that Mama Duck and other families managed to attend and support their loved ones in a respectful manner, despite the circumstances. Although law enforcement already possesses video evidence of the alleged suspects, Drio mentioned that the trial has progressed to the phase where they're currently revealing the footage taken from the vehicles leaving and returning to Parkway Gardens. At this stage of the trial, they are presenting the footage to everyone in the courtroom, questioning them about the surveillance recordings. For those wondering why all the footage hasn't been released yet, it's essential to understand that a trial follows a process, and the federal authorities cannot reveal all their evidence at once. They must methodically build their case and construct a narrative that substantiates their argument for the prosecutors. Presently, they are showcasing the footage they have, starting from the beginning and leading up to subsequent segments. There will be additional surveillance footage revealed in the future, including the highly anticipated footage of the actual shooting incident. Drio also highlighted that while many are eager to see this footage, negativity tends to spread faster than anything else, and controversy often captivates people's attention. However, prior to disclosing the critical footage, the legal process requires a methodical approach. The federal authorities are meticulously going through each step of the process, aiming to demonstrate why they believe the suspects in custody are indeed the individuals they have been pursuing. They are likely utilizing timestamps to bolster their case against the old block members. These timestamps serve as crucial evidence, detailing the duration it took for the suspects to depart Parkway Gardens, their arrival time at the Gold Coast, the duration of the incident, and their return time to Parkway Gardens after the event concluded. Drio divulged an exclusive detail that had not been previously disclosed in this case. During the return trip to Parkway Gardens, she revealed that surveillance footage captured a significant incident. The old block members were intercepted by the police as they were entering Parkway Gardens. The video footage showed a police officer pulling up behind them and engaging in interaction. However, due to the absence of audio, the specific details of the exchange remain unclear. This previously undisclosed encounter with law enforcement adds a noteworthy dimension to the case. There's no certainty about the officer's intent in stopping the old block members. Although captured on camera, it remains unclear whether the officer stopped them for a valid reason or not. The surveillance footage depicts a brief interaction between the police officer and the old block members, followed by the officer returning to his vehicle and driving away. The question arises whether the officer faced any consequences for this incident. Was he questioned regarding his decision to stop them and then let them go? Typically, individuals are stopped by police, and sometimes officers release them without further action. However, in this case, it's evident the officer halted their progress for a specific reason, yet based on the surveillance footage, he chose not to continue his investigation. The lack of follow-up prompts questions. Why didn't the officer pursue further action, and why did he initially stop them? One plausible explanation could be that the officer noticed them speeding and decided to check the situation, but upon learning they were heading to the gates of the location, opted to let them off without further action, assuming they were already at their intended destination. The officer might not have realized that he potentially allowed murder suspects to proceed after the incident. In hindsight, he could have been the first law enforcement contact after the crime had occurred. It's ironic to think that he might have been at home, watching the news about the arrests, and realizing he had stopped those same individuals earlier. There might be a sense of regret, considering that had he pursued further investigation, he might have discovered firearms or other crucial evidence they might have discarded before entering the gated area. It's essential to note that these observations are purely speculative and alleged. Undoubtedly, the individuals must have felt an intense rush of adrenaline when they saw the cop pull up behind them right before reaching their destination. It's quite a twist of fate to escape a situation only to face potential capture right at the doorstep. Despite this encounter, they were eventually apprehended in connection with the incident. This demonstrates that even though they were briefly stopped, law enforcement was able to apprehend them later on. These individuals now find themselves fighting for their freedom within the confines of the courthouse concerning the entire situation. It's an intriguing thought whether the cop who stopped them will testify in court. Perhaps he might provide a description of their demeanor, detailing if they appeared nervous or suspicious during their encounter. Such details could potentially be used by the federal prosecutors to bolster their case, insinuating that their apprehension was due to their behavior during the stop. The federal authorities are known for their strategic legal tactics, and they might leverage these details to support their prosecution. For instance, they could emphasize that the suspects seemed anxious when stopped, implying possible culpability. The case is anticipated to continue for about 2 months, indicating there might be additional cooperators, witnesses, and further surveillance footage that could potentially reveal more shocking details by the end of the trial. In the latest development, it was revealed that the last individual to take the stand and provide testimony was Trench's News, where it was disclosed that he had been offering cash payments to someone related to the case. This detail adds another layer to the unfolding events within the trial. Absorbed from recent updates is that Little Dave was also allegedly offered substantial cash payments, estimated to be around $20,000, in exchange for sharing his knowledge. The authorities' tactics seem questionable, providing significant sums of money to individuals who might typically assist in criminal activities without such inducements. This raises concerns about the extent to which individuals would go for monetary gain, especially considering their previous actions. Regarding Trench's News, who had previously testified, it's been reported that he removed his mask during the court proceedings and exhibited a lighthearted demeanor, cracking jokes. However, the next phase involves his cross-examination. This phase might unearth more critical insights into the ongoing trial. I'll continue to provide updates on the case, focusing on substantial and relevant development. This case holds significant importance, and I'm committed to sharing meaningful updates as they emerge. I've covered all the significant and relevant details related to the case. Anything substantial or pivotal to the ongoing trial has been included. My goal is to provide you with the latest updates as new and pertinent information emerges. Your thoughts and opinions on these updates are highly valued, so feel free to share your perspectives in the comments section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay updated whenever new content is released.